Hi everyone. Today, actually this week, we are going to do something called making connections is the skill we're going to work on. And we have worked on that this year, quite a bit actually. So one of the ways that you can make a connection with a story, and I'm going to read you a story called Time to Sleep, is that you can connect the text to yourself. So it's called a text to self connection. Maybe it reminds you of something with you. I'm guessing you're going to do that with Time to Sleep. Otherwise, then another one to do is called text to text. That is where one story reminds you of another story. Okay? So today I am going to read to you a story called Time to Sleep. And right now you actually might be making a connection, a text to text connection, if you remember a story I read that was very similar to this called Time to Eat. It's the same authors, Steve Jenkins and Robin Page. Okay, so here we go. Time to Sleep. And the author is actually going to kind of make the text to self connection here for you. Okay. Like you, animals need to sleep, but they get their rest in lots of different ways. There are animals that sleep during the day and others that snooze after the sun goes down. A few just take short naps, but some may be awake for only a few hours a day. There are animals that lie down to sleep and creatures that doze while standing, hanging upside down, floating in the water, even flying. All right, so I want you to make some text to self connections while we're doing this, okay? Think about you and how you sleep and how it's either the same or maybe different. Once I get down here, it's hard to get up. The giraffe sleeps less than 2 hours each day. It can sleep standing up or lying down, curled into a ball. It's Tuesday already? Snug in its underground burrow, the hairy armadillo snoozes for more than 20 hours a day. To stay warm, the red fox sleeps with its long, bushy tail wrapped around its nose. Heads or tails? That one kind of reminds me of my cats. Scoot over, please. Bee eaters line up to sleep. Those at either end, however, stay awake and watch for danger. The birds take turns standing guard, changing places so that every bird gets a chance to rest. Early warning system. The basilisk falls asleep balanced on a thin branch that hangs over the water. If a snake approaches, the branch shakes and the lizard wakes up, drops into the water, and swims to safety. That's kind of a cause effect too, like we worked on last week. If it shakes, the effect is drops into the water and saves himself. My foot's asleep. To stay safe from predators, the flamingo sleeps standing in shallow water. As it dozes, the bird conserves body heat by standing on one leg and tucking the other leg into its feathers from time to time. It switches legs. Each night, the parrotfish produces a mucus cocoon that surrounds its body. This slimy coating conceals the parrotfish's scent from predators, keeping it safe as it sleeps. A slimy sleeping bag. Before dozing off, the warthog wiggles backwards into a cave or crevice in the rock. Its sharp tusks face outward as it sleeps. Get the point? The great sea turtle sinks to the seafloor to sleep. All turtles breathe air, but the green sea turtle can hold its breath for a long time. Still, after an hour or two, it must wake up and swim to the surface to breathe. Time to get a little fresh air. Snoozing on autopilot. The white stork sleeps in flight. Scientists believe it does this by taking a few series of naps that last just a few seconds each. Could you imagine? When autumn arrives, the European hedgehog crawls into its burrow and wraps itself into a spiky ball. There it falls into an especially deep sleep called hibernation that will last for months. Don't touch. Brrr. The wood frog passes the winter resting on the forest floor. There, in an unusual form of hibernation, it freezes solid, turning into what looks like a lumpy green ice cube covered with frost. It will thaw out in the spring. Sleeping or just holding on? Longhorned bees hang motionless through the night, holding tight to a twig or leaf. It's not known if bees actually sleep. Perhaps they are just resting. When you come to a fork in the tree, at bedtime, the koala sometimes wedges itself between the branches of a tree so it won't tumble out in its sleep. Hanging out, the walrus isn't choosy about where it beds down. It naps on the seafloor, sleeps as it drifts along on the ocean's surface, or snoozes on the beach. Sometimes it just hangs out, supported by an ice floe and its long tusks. Split personality. Like all mammals, the bottlenose dolphin breathes air. As it sleeps, one half of its brain stays awake to tell the dolphin when it's time to surface and take a breath. The two halves of its brain take turns sleeping. Amazing, isn't it? Sleep tight. Gorillas like to snuggle. Can you make a connection to yourself with that one? Every night they make a big nest of leaves and grass, then gather in a sleepy pile. Where will you fall asleep tonight? Hopefully you made some good text to self connections.